Look, I've got a lot to say on Kevin, and I've been given 5 minutes, so I'll have to stick to the important things. Look, firstly, Kevin has been an amazing person in my life, and his influence on my life has been incredible. And when I was asked to come and launch the book by Kevin, I was not surprised that Kevin has produced a book. I was surprised that Kevin had written a book, but not surprised that he'd produced a book. And I'll tell you why I'm surprised. Not surprised, and I am surprised. We won the premiership in 1993, and Kevin was the coach of that team, obviously, and a super coach he was. He took on a young team with a sprinkling of older players who had missed out on a premiership in 1990, and he inspired us with a team that, in terms of talent on a piece of paper, didn't look worthy of the top six they were playing against. But we went on and had a fantastic game against the Adelaide Crows, came from behind after a record margin at half-time and won the preliminary final. And then against Carlton, beat our nemesis on grand final day. And Gavin, who you'll hear from as well, won the Brownlow medal that year. So it was a wonderful year. We were fortunate enough to go to America on a football trip, which was a great football trip. And I actually roomed with Gavin for a night until he decided he got homesick and had to come home. But that's a very different story, Gav. You could tell that one later. We were going from, I think we were going from Chicago to New Orleans, and we had to go via Texas or Dallas. And Sheeds had a motto of every city he was in, he would buy a book. And that was quite difficult when, as being one of the younger players, you were the one designated to carry the books for Sheeds. So by the time we'd been to 3 or 4 cities and we got to Dallas, I had a huge bag of books that I had to carry around. And I was fortunate I got to sit next to Kevin on this flight from Texas to Dallas to New Orleans. So we'd taken our seats. The lady had said, we're going to close the doors in a couple of minutes. Can everyone put their seatbelts on? And she just bolted upright, jumped out of the plane and said, bugger, I forgot to buy a book. Bolted off the plane, and who knows where he went. Because the lady came in and said, where's Mr. Sheedy? I said, oh, I don't know, he's gone to buy a book. And she said, we're going to have to leave him here. And we all said, that's a really good idea. Because you don't want your coach coming on a football trip with you. It's a bit like taking your father or your mother. But anyway, that's another story again. So anyway, she closed the doors, and we took off from Dallas airport without Sheeds. And fortunately, 3 days later, Kevin turned up in New Orleans with another bag of books, which I then had to carry. And we still, Geraldine, where are you? Are you here somewhere? Or, no, she's not here. But we don't know where he went. So hopefully he did tell you where he went. But I wasn't surprised that Sheeds did put out a book, because he loves books and he loves reading them. But I'm so very surprised that he had anything to do with the writing of it. Because another time, it would have been mid-90s, we had a room where Sheeds would present all our game plans and our tactics to us every Thursday night before we'd play on a Saturday. And to get to that room, you have to walk past Sheeds' office. So you'd walk up the stairs, Sheeds' office would be here, and you walk into the right where the lecture theatre was. And Sheeds had handed all sorts of notes. One day he gave us a piece of paper with movie stars who became presidents, or postmen who became successful European leaders, and proceeded to tell us why this was important for the game against Carlton on a Saturday. Still to this day, I'm not sure why he gave that out. But anyway, on this occasion, it was about 20 minutes before the meeting, and I went past his office and I got a call. Herdy, quick, come in. And he was quite panicked. And he said, you know about computers, don't you? And I went, oh, well, I know a little bit about computers. I've been to university. I've used a computer, if that's knowing about computers. And he said, well, can you tell me how to get this bloody mouse to work? I said, what do you mean, Sheets? It just won't work. I said, well, show me what you're doing. So what he was doing is he had the screen of the computer, and he had the mouse, and he had it on the screen. And he was moving it around. I said, well, there's a pretty obvious reason why it won't work, Sheets. Give it to me, and we showed him how to use it, and we showed him how to make it work. And fortunately, he got there and was able to make it work, but I still am not sure Kevin would have been capable of typing that book out. He might have written it by hand, but whoever helped him type it out, thank you very much, because it's a fantastic read. And we all appreciated it, because in this book is a summary of 50 years, according to Kevin Sheedy, on his life in football and what a life it has been, and the influence he's had on so many people. I know the influence he's had on teammates of mine and people who've played at the Essendon Football Club, and not just the players, but the support staff, the board, and he's changed every one of their lives. And then if you're an Essendon supporter, I know under the reign of Kevin Sheedy, you just couldn't be happier, because the success we had, not only on the field, but the way he grew us as a club from a suburban club that was, you know, well behind Carlton, Richmond and Collingwood in those days, to being the #1 club in Victoria for a long time, and making us play marquee games against the best teams in the competition, the best players. And I truly believe that the reason Essendon Football Club is as successful as it's been and went to another level above most other clubs in the AFL is to do with Kevin and the people that he took along on that journey. And so this book is a excellent read, some very funny stories, some great tributes from a lot of people, and one that sums up a great man and someone who I think is one of the greatest people to ever walk this country, not for what he's done for football only, but for what he's done for Indigenous people, for minorities, and for the influence he's had on the community in Australia, which has been fantastic. So Sheedy, congratulations, and next time you want to write a book, give me a call and we'll sort out that computer for you. Thanks very much.